Hey everybody, welcome back. It's day 2 of the 12 days of holiday scrapping videos. Today I have another guest joining me for this day 2 challenge, and her name is Tara McLean. She just recently started out a YouTube channel, but I absolutely love her work. She does amazing things with cut files, so please go check out her new YouTube channel and see her process video today. So I am working, speaking of cut files, with a cut file from the Just Nick store, and I am using the reindeer cut file, and it's just a big reindeer head. And I've purposely put it off center on my page, and I kind of wanted it on the side, just like it is, and I'm going to have my photos in a cluster on the right hand side of my page. So I'm going to save that cutout part, and actually is going to come in handy later. So here are my photos, and for the number 2 today, I kind of just did something simple, and I'm just using 2 photos. So that's what I would like you to do if you're going to participate in the challenges, is just use 2 of something on your page. I actually do a lot of pages with 2 photos. I do a lot of, I think 2 is probably more than any, 2 in single photo page layouts I do mostly, and not so many multi-photos, but I do like to use 2 photo pages a lot. Okay, so I've cut the reindeer out. I put a piece of craft paper behind it. The craft paper is actually really similar in color to what my son is wearing on his head, but I don't end up keeping it. I changed it to white. But I'll come back to that in a minute. I am working right now with some foam adhesive sheets from ThermoWeb, and they work with the Decofoil products. And actually, this is one of the some of the items in the prize package for participating in one of these 12 challenges. And all I did was use my circle punch and punched out a circle from the foam. And all you have to do, it's double sided adhesive pretty much, so that each side is sticky. So you take off the paper layer from the top and then just kind of burnish the foil over it with your finger, and you pull the foil off and you get a very beautiful, perfectly foiled shape. So you can cut this foam with like a punch. It's a little difficult. You don't want to use a super intricate punch because it is a little tricky because it's thick. You could cut it with scissors, and you can also cut it on your die cutting machine. So the foam is really, really fun to use, the foam adhesive with the foil. So you can foil pretty much anything that you can cut. So I kind of chicken out with the craft paper, and I go back to the white to see if I like the white. And I do like the white better because I think it makes the antlers in the photos stick out more, because when I had the craft there, I thought it really just was drowning out the photos a bit. Now I need to start digging into my stash to figure out how I'm going to embellish this and add some papers and some other color. Look at this crepe paper collection, 2009. I can't remember what it's called. It was one of their first Christmas lines. It was actually, that may have been the year that crepe paper, I guess maybe that was 2008 that they came out. But yeah, that's a really old collection right there. But I love that. With one of my favorite collections. This paper, by the way, this green paper is a really old basic gray one as well. I think it was called like Eskimo Kisses or something. So yeah, I'm really showing the age of my paper stash here. But it feels so good to use it. So okay, so I am going to cut down that piece of white cardstock to fit behind my deer head, and add some glue to the background there. And what you can't see me doing is I leave my liquid glue open all the time, and I forget to put my top on it. Actually, I don't even know what the top is. It's been in the trash probably for a while. And the tip dries up sometimes, and so I chew the glue out with my teeth. And when it gets clogged, I just pull the glue out, because I can't pull it out with my fingers because my nails aren't long enough. So that's what I'm doing off camera, is eating glue. That explains a lot. Anyway, I glued my deer head down there, and then I pulled out this kind of teal paper. It looks like polka dots, but it's actually little Christmas ornaments. And I like the little red dots on it because it reminded me of little red noses. But you don't actually end up seeing any of the red dots on it. And I think that I'm going to, because there's so much white on the left-hand side, I thought that I wanted to add some more white behind my photos, but I do end up changing that. I do add white in other ways with little tags and such, as you'll see. But okay, so I've pulled out some alphas that I think I'm going to use. I really didn't have a large selection of red alphas, believe it or not. I have a ton, but not very many red ones. And I thought I was going to use a red nose. Well, the word nose in red. But I actually end up changing that too because I thought that it drew away too much from the red nose of the reindeer. Okay, so this little ephemera pack is from Pink Fresh Studios. It was their collection from last winter, so it's not that old. I don't remember what the name of that collection was, but just digging through some things. On the bottom of the deer there, that little piece of holly that I just rotated a little bit, that is actually from another super old collection. It's an old Dear Lizzie collection, as is this piece of paper that I'm fussy cutting right now. And I think it was just Dear Lizzie Christmas. I think that was the name of the collection. Gosh, that probably was 2009, 2010 as well. So I wanted to bring some more of that holly in, and I am going to put three little clusters of holly around the page by the time I'm done here. So I'm just I'm adjusting the holly a little bit because I didn't like the way that all of those leaves were looking, so I'm happy with that right there. I had put a little frame behind the photo, but again, that doesn't stay either. It's funny because I'm going through all this stuff, and I think I mentioned this in my first video. I have so much Christmas stash that it's taking me forever to do these pages because I'm just going through everything trying to find the perfect thing. So that's why I like to limit myself sometimes to like a certain collection or whatever, because it helps me get my pages done faster. When I have to use my stash, I really spend so much time looking for the perfect thing or going through to see what I have that it just takes me forever to do a page. So, I mean, it does feel good to use your stash, but I need to come up with a better system of using it if I'm going to use it as much as I have been lately. So anyway, here is where I bring in a little bit more white. This tag has a really beautiful red glitter border. I think that's Heidi Swap, maybe? Yeah, I think it's Heidi Swap. And I just loved it. It was really pretty. It says Jingle on the other end of that tag, but I didn't use that, and I just tucked it up there. And I am going to write my journaling on that later. So that's going to stay. And yeah, I decided I don't like the letters that are red, so I take the red nose letters off. And I take the white cardstock off there as my photo mat because I didn't like all that white. So I wanted to add a little bit more color. So I'm going to add in this blue. And I like that much better. I think the white was just too bright. So the deer is kind of its own element now, and now the photo cluster over there is its own element. These sequins, oh, so I replaced that frame with a little piece of washi tape instead, and I like that. I like that better. I put some sequins up on that little piece of holly. Those are really big sequins. They came from a Teresa Collins sequin pack that I got at a crop probably about 2 or 3 years ago. A crop that I went to up in Canada, actually. One of the Scrapbooking Cards Today Crop and Creates events. They had vendors there. It was really fun. And I bought lots of goodies that I still haven't used. There is my other little holly cluster. Those little holly leaves are from the Chamel line from last year. So I was going through trying to find letters for my word nose, and I found these brown ones that were super cute, and they're stitched. I think they're old Amy Tan letters. And I thought, you know what, maybe I should bring a little bit more brown into the page because it's great for, you know, kind of the reindeer theme. So I took some photo corners from that old crepe paper collection. They have brown with some little different colored polka dots on there, and I put them on there. And now I have all these words cut out from, I cut them out a long time ago on my Cameo, and I was going to give them away when I owned my scrapbook store, but they would just took forever to cut out, so I didn't. So anyway, I have a huge pile of them, and I was looking for the word bright, and I couldn't find it. Well, I found it, but it didn't look good. It wasn't what I was looking for. So I went through all my papers and things and stickers and whatever to look for the word bright. And I found this one, it actually said merry and bright, and it was on a 3x4 card, but I really liked that it was brown. So I cut out the word bright, and I really like that. But then it was a little big, and then I was trying to figure out where am I going to put this that it looks the best and doesn't take away too much from the design. Boy, I tap my fingers fast. I spend a lot of time just sitting and thinking about my pages, a lot. Just to add a little bit more bright green in here, another little bright green tag, and I'm going to add a couple little other bright green elements. Okay, so time to start gluing. So I'm going to glue these photos down on that blue paper, distress the edges. That washi tape on that other piece of background paper there helped keep that in place, so I'm just going to flip that up, put some glue on it, and flip it right back down. That was easy. And I'm just going to, I rough it up a little bit with the edges of my fingernails to kind of give it a little bit more texture. These photos, by the way, are my son last year in preschool. They made these super cute little reindeer hats with these red noses that hang down. And he was so proud of his hat. And usually after school, we'd stay outside and like play with other kids in the big like grassy area outside the school. And he wore it the whole time that he was playing. It was really cute. He really loved that hat. I have no idea what happened to it. I'm sure it ended up smashed on the floor of my car, probably. Okay, anyway, a couple other embellishments that I went looking for. I had to find some other deer-related things. That cute little tag that says, "Oh dear," and a little, it's kind of like a piece of flare, but it's kind of like a gemstone. That was from Glitz Design. That's a couple years old, at least. It has a deer head on it, and then the little green tag says Mary. These sequins, again, I'm putting on with some glue dots because they do not stay on with the liquid glue, because once the liquid glue dries, they just kind of fall right off. And I'm going to commit to that nose and glue it down. And then I decide that the word nose in brown I don't like, and I want some more dark green down at the bottom. And I got to tell you about the title on my finished page that you'll see at the end of the photograph. I forget to put the word so, because the title is supposed to be No So Bright. And I forgot to put the word so on there, and so it's in the photo. But I remembered after I took the photo, but I wasn't about to go back and do on my photo again. So trust me, I put the word so on my title. Okay, so I took the deer head piece that I had cut out, and I covered up the white cardstock, so I put it back into place there so that I could splatter and not get any splatters on the white part of the deer. And that worked out perfectly. So I'm glad I kept that piece and didn't wrinkle it up or throw it away or anything. And then that mist is called Classic Tan from Studio Calico. I did move that little bunch of holly down to the bottom there, and I had to glue them on because they were not sticking very well at all. And I kind of had them overlapping each other a little bit, so they definitely weren't sticking to each other or the paper. So I fiddle around with those a little bit. Okay, I took off, there was a piece of like white twine on that little blue tag, and again I wanted to bring in a little bit more bright green. This bright like lime green, that's my favorite Christmas, it's my favorite green to use on Christmas pages. I don't really like traditional Christmas colors like the dark red and the dark green. I like to add a little bit of brightness to it. So I get the brilliant idea that I want to hand stitch around the outline of this deer. Every time I start hand stitching, I think it's a great idea until I actually am halfway through and I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Because it took me an hour at least to hand stitch around the whole deer. So, but it does look nice. I definitely like the way it looks. So I just poked holes all around with my paper piercer. I'm using a brown thread, and I separated the embroidery floss into 2 strands, and there it is. I am glad in the long run that I did the stitching. It really adds a little bit more outline and definition to the reindeer head and helps pick up the brown from some of the other things in the page. So for the rest of the time here, I basically am just going through, again, things in my stash and just adding a few little things here and there. I'm going to add this brad down there on that tag. That's another old, or actually that's a base from Basic Gray. That's an old Basic Gray brad. What do I add from here? Oh, another piece of holly. That's kind of a brighter green. I saw in this package. I add to the top cluster. This package of chipboard I got at like maybe it was Big Lots, probably about 7 or 8 years ago for 99 cents. And I love it. I've used so much of this chipboard pack in the past couple years. You would think I would have used it all by now, but no, that's because I have so much other stuff. I was looking for other things. Oh, I know what I was looking for. I was looking for something blue to bring over because I had all that blue on the right-hand side and I didn't have any blue at all over on the left-hand side. So I found another little blue plain tag and I'm going to add that to the reindeer's decoration there on his neck, and I'm going to stamp a little sentiment on it in a little bit. And I had these sitting out, and I thought, oh my gosh, those circles. Those are pink from Pink Fresh too. They are the perfect size. They fit right in the foil, and you can't tell. You can make it out a little bit, but it's kind of like an acrylic shape, and it's red, and it says Mary on it. So that was the perfect size for the reindeer nose, and it's so cute. I love these acrylic shapes. They are really awesome. They're tinted different colors, so there's kind of like this dark blue, well, not a dark blue, but a darker blue and a lighter blue. Little stars, and there's little diamond shapes and presents and a couple little phrases and triangles. Very, very pretty. So I just scattered those around a little bit. I might have to get another package of those because I see myself using those a lot. I love those. What am I looking for now? I don't know. There's not much else I add. Oh, I know what I'm looking for. I usually put a date label somewhere, usually on the top of my photos or tucked under the side of my photo, or in an embellishment cluster. I love using little date labels, and I always try to put the date on my page somewhere as well, so I can remember when it was. And I usually just use a date stamp to do that. So I found a label to use that came from a Bella Boulevard sticker sheet, and it's perfect because it has a little piece of holly on it, and it's that bright green color, and that's just what I needed up there. Anything else I want to add? Yep, I find another sticker somewhere on one of these sheets. It says, "'Tis the season." How appropriate for this video series to add a sticker that says "'Tis the season." And just got a couple last little finishing touches here. I'm going to stamp on this little tag with it's kind of it's a roller stamp with just Christmas phrases on it, which I just love. And stick that under there. And off camera, I do my journaling and add the date to my little label on the top, and that is it. So this page came out super cute. Pretty much what I had envisioned in my head, so I love when that happens. A couple close-ups of all the glitter and the foil and all that prettiness. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out Tara's video in the description below, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Happy holidays!